Hello tubes, it's Gav. Welcome to another one of my videos. I wasn't sure whether I was going to put this up or not. This is the Chase Elliott 2022 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. It's a Salvinos Junior kit, so next gen Nascar, I believe, as if I'm some expert. I love these NASCARs and I've been getting into NASCAR. I still don't understand loads of it. I'm doing my best, but I just generally enjoy it. I like the shape of the cars and the graphics, and I don't know all the drivers still, but I've only been into it for about a year or so. But anyway, this is the build for Old Tom, Mr. Rambler 69. I thought I'd try and show some of it on camera. You know what I'm like. Well, this one won't disappear because it's being built now till it's completed. It's for Old Tom. I couldn't very well just get frustrated and leave it, or get bored and leave it. I only postponed it again simply because I always do Joachim and Marcus's group build, and that's the wheeled vehicles in military use group build. I do whatever they do every year as a group build, and I wanted to see that out without, and then I was starting to do my ships and do other bits, and I thought Tom's never going to get this built, and I really would like to enjoy it. So I thought I'd just document some of my work as I go along. How long it'll go on for, I've no idea, but we'll see. Hopefully you get to see it at least in some types of stages as I go. So thanks for stopping by and taking a look, and I hope it's of interest to some of you out there that likes either motorsport, likes automotive building in general, and particularly like Old Tom, Mr. Rambler 69. There'll be a link to Tom's channel, so please go and check him out. He's not only one of the best builders here on YouTube, and everybody always flaunts that around with different people, but I really mean it. There's several I could name of my Maras on here that are top class builders, and he's definitely in that group of several people. But this is for Old Tom. He does more or less art in styrene. You just got to see his work, it's fantastic. So and thanks for Jeff over at Jeff's Model Garage. I'll put garage. We'll put a link to his description as well. He's hosted the group build for Old Tom. Right guys, I'm trying to cram all this on with 101 soldiers on the desk at the same time. I quite enjoy the instructions so far. They seem fairly comprehensive, and you know, they'll point out bits not to do and to do, things like that. I don't know if this is right really. I've decided I'm probably, once I've sprayed, I'm going to build the engine up, primer it, and then paint it. Well, this part of the engine, and then maybe this part. I'm not sure. Because what I had trouble with before, my one and only other car build to date, which is the 29 Ford Roadster hot rod, is I'd paint everything, then try and glue it, and either the glue wouldn't stick to, the paint wouldn't, obviously with the paint barrier, it wouldn't stick particularly great to the plastic, and or I'd damage the paint with the glue. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be doing, but let's just see. We'll make a start with the engine and see how things go. Right guys, I've got my base of my engine started. The only thing I didn't do, which I don't know, a lot of my model making is full of regrets. One of them is, how could I not find the big injector pin marks? Oh dear. I think they're on both sides. Yeah, I did try and scrape that one away, but I gave it up as I can't get to it properly. I'm hoping that when that's in place inside an engine bay, you're not going to see it. But my own stupidity again. This is the problem with my model building. I try and, because my memory's not very good with my head problems, I struggle. It's not following the directions. It was a case of all my Maras out there that build models, dry fit. So because these haven't got particularly pegs, if that makes sense, you know, that's the one thing. The engine can be, I think, is slightly vague Not in the instructions, you know where the things go, but you haven't got like little pins that you just go plump and that's in place, so you just have to bear that in mind. So to make sure I was getting everything up in the right direction and not upside down and the wrong way, I was concentrating so much dry fitting that, and then I thought, well, I tack glued the main block in, and then added these two end bits to fix it in place, because otherwise there's no fixing points to it. And then I added the sump. So yeah, again, thinking so much about trying to get other things right, you get the basics wrong. And that's not Salvino, that's me. That's not the kit, that's just me. So there's no point beating myself up over it now. It's happened, so I'm not going to start ripping pieces off. I could try and fill that, I've thought. I'm going to put some super glue in this piece here. This piece here, but I don't know, to try and sand it, once I put some super glue in there to try and sand it, it's going to be lumpy as hell. So I just think, fingers crossed. I don't think anything is going to be sat behind it, but you know, it's done now, so try and remember for the next time. There's a lot of trying to remember for the next time, and I can't remember the present. But yeah, this is how far I've got so far. I am thinking, obviously I can't mask all these type of little bits and pieces, so I'm probably I'm wondering about brush painting some plastic primer on, and then hand painting that. And then, because I've got a lot of metallics anyway in doing the figure painting and stuff, I've got a lot of metallics that I could use, at least for the engine. So I'm not stop start trying to, you know, do airbrush work and that, because these are different colours here from the base plate. So I think that's the way to go. I think I'm gonna stick this on a toothpick, hand paint it, and then you know, I can pick the details out that way before I add the next section, you know, the rocker covers and things, and the belts and pulleys. So yeah, there we go. So that's our base engine done. Nothing too hard apart from missing giant injector pin marks that I should have seen, but oh well. You can, these are designed to believe that I've just got Lucas Sion in the background doing his building. He did a build without, I believe, I'm only on his first one, but he didn't paint it. He was saying, apart from some of the details inside in the engine. But he said these were designed to be built by beginners or fairly... I know I do bits of modelling, as we all know, but I'd hardly call myself, you know, obviously with all my figure painting, I'm not exactly a full-on modeler. And definitely automotive, this is only really my second one, so these are designed that you can, if you want to, just stick them all together. The cars don't have to be painted if you don't want them to be. Mine will be, but yeah. So thanks for watching this little bit. I might well go on to actually building the roll frame and that, because you use the chassis as a jig, which I'll show you in a bit, because obviously this is going to have to be wiped down with IPA and then hand painted, and that might take a couple of days for, well, you know, roughly. Acrylic dries fairly quick, but yeah, we can put that to one side, primered, ready for paint. I might paint the... No, I might. No, I'll leave the other bits to put onto the engine. I'll stick. I won't paint them on the sprue tree. I'll stick them on separately and then paint them. Right. See you in a bit. Welcome back, Tubesters. I decided to stick the rocker covers on. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to do on the engine before I start priming. I'm going to actually see. I'm going to take them all off the sprue tree and fit them on, at least dry fit them, and see how you know, what I can get away with if I can get paintbrushes inside and whatever. I've just glued this rocker cover down. Now I don't know if it'll be the same on yours. I've tried to, they wouldn't sit down even under pressure in the two little holes here. So my advice would be, well, obviously you're going to dry fit them, but I just took the scalpel and took some sides off on the inside further down. That didn't really do much, so I haven't done this yet, but I just nibbled off the ends there. Not too much, obviously, because you want them to hold, but just took a 0.5 mil off, something like that. Nothing scientific, and they fitted nice. So just be aware that you might have to do that on yours. Right, guys, I've got this intake on. I believe it's the intake. There was a problem. It might be me, but I don't think it was, because it wasn't really much I could stuff up on it, even with my lack of skills. So each of these, obviously there's a slight indentation in these covers here, and there's a little pin on the end of these intakes here. Well, no matter how I did it, it was pushing the top of these covers off. Not hugely, but enough that there was a fairly noticeable gap either side, and probably still is there. So what I've had to do, first of all, I removed the pins. It's so soft, this plastic. Just sanded them down real easy, and it still wouldn't do it. So what I've ended up having to do is the tops. Let's get in here. Sorry for your arch clipping about. He's just woke up. These here I've had to literally sand down to get them under this lip of this rocker cover. So it's just something to bear in mind. You know, it's just something you might find yourself when you do it. I've took the hit that I'm going to build this up at least to this stage. Because there's so many different, well, not loads, but enough colours difference here that it's just easier, I think, for me to build this part of the engine up. I'll just put that in there. I'm not even sure if it goes around that way or not, but obviously I've got to clean all the bits out first. But I reckon, because I'm going to brush paint this engine, I can get under there with a brush. I can put enough shadow areas in there that you won't, once she's sat in the engine bay, you won't see those bits. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know on that, just in case, just something you can look at yourself. But even if these slightly, they can't, because they are on pegs. Even if I'd move these slightly, I don't think it would have helped with the actual covers hitting these intakes. So yeah, I'm not even sure. You might not even have to remove the pegs that go in there. I mean, it's a tight fit anyway. It's just a case of you might just have to sand down these again, these here, just to get you fitted underneath that, but still retain them so that you still got that look. So there we go. Right, guys, thanks for joining me again. I've more or less, I believe, built the engine, as I can't see any extras that they want me to put on. I am going to look at perhaps doing some wiring. That should be fun. I can't guarantee it yet though. Let's get a bit closer, Gav. I just wanted to say as well, don't do what I do and forget to put, I don't know what this does, is it water? But I forgot to put it in. I mean, it does nestle there, okay. And the pulleys, I managed to break a pulley because I tried to put all the pulley systems together and then mount it. I thought that would be a good idea. It wasn't. It's better to do them separately. So your first bunch of pulleys go on first, and then, well, it's only two pieces molded. Sorry, Archie's falling all over the place. He's a bit old now and he tends to get a bit confused. Sorry. So I managed to snap one, but I have glued it back on by the look of it okay. It wouldn't have been a huge fix to put some styrene sheet as a pulley to fix it. But I regret in a way now sticking these top pieces on, because it is going to be a right pain in the behind to get all that painted. Hey ho, you know, it happens. So I'll do my best. Just fingers crossed. As I say, I know I'm not going to get all the bits in there, but we'll make it look as good as we can make it look. What I'd planned to do is build this fairly out of the box. I keep getting drawn to looking at other things in it, and I think no, just try and get competent. It's me, but try and get competent at what you're doing, and you know, hopefully next time I do one of these, we might be able to do a bit more fancy, you know, fancy bits and pieces on it. So I'm going to wrap this up, I think, because Archie's is well awake now. I can't lock him out, as I say. He's too, well, I think out the room. He's too confused now, and he gets himself into all kinds of messes. So yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'll load this one up so it's not too long, and I will crack on for the rest of this evening, because it's now about 7 o'clock in the evening. I will carry on having a go at fitting the floor pan as a jig and the roll cage and stuff around that, and we'll see how that goes, and I'll film bits as I go, but we'll get this one up first. So thank you very much. As I say, I'll go with this as far as I want to, in the sense of filming wise. I mean, it is going to be built all the way through, but I'm not massively confident in my model building, and I tend to trip up when I'm doing stuff on camera, but we'll see how we go. We'll keep going. That's why I'm not actually physically doing anything. It's just not worth it. You know, I make enough mistakes as it is. So thank you very much. As I say, please go and check out Tom's Mr. Rambler 69's channel. You won't be disappointed. And go and check out Jeff at Jeff's Model Garage. I can't say garage first time, guys, sorry. It's just not here it's called a garage, or my part of the UK is anyway. So yeah, it's just easier if I say garage. It just doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth. So look after yourselves. Thanks for your company, and we'll catch each other soon on another video.